Welcome back, faithful subscribers. And if you're new here, my name's Grant Tommy. This is my channel, Straight Six Fan, where I like to focus on budget-minded, creative, relatable builds. A little something I like to call offbeat hot rodding. And today, again, if you're a long-time subscriber, you know that if I'm doing one of these episodes, that means I didn't get any work done in the garage. But if you're new here, that's what this episode means. So let me just kind of run through a couple things for you guys. So yesterday, Saturday, I was helping my in-laws move. So that kind of took up most of the day yesterday. But then today, my wife is going through grad school right now, and she just wrapped up one of her semesters. So today's kind of, we spent some time together, whereas usually on Sundays in the past, she'd be working on homework. That meant I would have time out here in the garage. So anyway, didn't feel it'd be right to kind of steal that time from her out here in the garage when we would have the opportunity, like we do today, to hang out. So I kind of gotta make this one quick, but today also the weather looked like this was going to be about as good as it would get for quite some time to put the exterior Christmas lights up. So that's what I did today as well, especially considering through the week, you know, with the sun going down faster than it usually does, sooner, faster, sooner, whatever, you know what I mean. It's not really something I can do after work, so I elected to do that today. It was about 38 degrees outside, and next Saturday didn't look any better. Another thing going on right now is I have elected to bring back the sports podcast that I had done for a while. And so for the past, this will be my 4th week now doing the podcast, and it is for K-State sports, which will bring me to my next point here in a second. But that's another thing that's been kind of taking up some of my free time on weeknights as well. But let's get into that just a little bit more here in a second. So the podcasting. So on today, Sunday, December 2nd, head coach Bill Snyder announced his retirement from Kansas State University. So kind of a big historic day. If you haven't noticed all the paraphernalia now between the glass with the Power Cat, my hat, and the backdrop here in my garage. That's going to be, that was the whole reason I brought my podcast back, was sort of anticipation of him retiring and to give myself a platform to talk about it. I'm not going to do that here on this channel. You guys came here for something totally different. So why don't I go ahead and get to that? Okay, so what I did actually accomplish throughout the week for Project Low Fairmont, which my tripod is sitting on right now as I record this. Last night, after leaving the in-laws, I did buy a set of hose clamps for the radiator hoses, and as well as when I was at O'Reilly's, I was looking for a cheap 1/2-inch wrench to buy to bend, but I found this guy instead, which kind of has the offset, kind of has an offset already built into the head, so I'm thinking that this might work for that hard to reach thermostat housing bolt, which actually, from some forums, that's what a couple people have done. They would buy longer 1/2-inch wrenches, heat it up, put it in their vise, and bend it to about a 45-degree angle, and a couple people have had some success with that. So I think that is what I'm going to do there. With the gauges for the water temp and oil pressure, I got online last week after I recorded last episode and double checked on homedepot.com to see if they had a 2 1/16 inch hole saw, which they did. So I was thinking that would mean I could pick one up in a retail store. So I went to one of those last night because, again, this week actually for work, this past week, was super busy. I worked late, probably 3 of the 5 days. So I really didn't have a good time to to get home, and there's not really a Home Depot really on my way home from work. There's a Lowe's that's somewhat on my way home from work, and I just never ended up having the time to stop by. So I ordered. So anyway, so I go to a Home Depot last night, and as you might suspect, tuna 16th, not one of the most mainstream sizes, so they did not have one on their shelves. Now, so anyway, late last night, I ordered one on Amazon Prime, so that should be showing up. So hopefully this week I can get the radiator hoses, get that thermostat housing off, radiator hoses back on, and even if I was able to do that this week, there's still snow from that blizzard last week, and the roads are really nasty that I don't really know if I would have done a radiator flush 10-mile drive in Project Low Fairmont today. So I'm kind of waiting for the weather to get a little bit better so I can do that work as well anyway. So there's that. I guess that just leaves us now with the beer review. So today's beer that we're drinking is Sam 76 from Sam Adams Brewing Company, and I think when they rolled this out, I think I kind of remember them advertising it as such, like an American lager. So I think what they were going after was like the Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light drinking crowd, but trying to give a little spin of it and add some flavor to it. And I think they hit the spot. Like, I think they hit that on the spot. So this does taste really much alike an American style lager. I think that's what they're for. But it's got a little extra hops in it. And if you guys have been watching these beer reviews from me, you know that I am not the type that likes hoppy beers. But this, to me, has the perfect amount of hops to kind of take it it's just enough to make it noticeable. And it does. It gives this otherwise what would be, the number one beer that I dislike is Bud Light, because it has like just no flavor. I cannot understand how so many people like to drink that stuff. If I have to settle for a domestic, I'm a Coors Light guy, but this Sam Adams stuff is something that I think is a nice kind of hybrid between like just that simple domestic American beer, which supposedly they all love, and craft beer, and it's somewhere in the middle. This is kind of one of my new favorites right now. I drink, I don't know, like, I'll go through a 6-pack pretty fast of this stuff. But anyway, this, count me in as a fan. What I really wanted to do for a beer review today was going to be Shiner Cheer, being that it is the holiday season, as Bing Crosby would sing about. But liquor store I went to today was out. So anyway, Sam 76 gets my approval. I highly recommend it. And maybe this would be a good starter beer for some people who maybe never have dabbled into the craft beer side, and just have stuck to the Bud Lights of old for years and years past. Highly recommend it. That's going to do it for this episode. And until next time, peace out.